WIDR Kalamazoo.
This is Live, Loud, and Local, taking listeners inside the best live shows in Kalamazoo and beyond. This is 89.1 Wider FM. You can listen live on widrfm.org. Hi, everybody. It's Karen talking. If you haven't listened to this show before, I'm kind of a chronic concert goer. It's been a second since we had a new episode. It's been a few months, but we're back. School's back in session, so I'm back, and we're gonna be better than ever. Summer came and went. I saw people like Fall Out Boy this summer, Pup, and I even saw the Wombats this week. But I can talk about that later. I want to introduce the guest that we have on this week, though. I have with me in the studio Faded Winds, aka Alex. He is a Kalamazoo alternative rap artist who is prevalent in the Kalamazoo house show scene. His song Toxic with Kid Price is now out wherever you get your music. How are you, Alex?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Karen?
I'm doing well. I'm really, really glad the show is back and in the new student center too.
Oh, it's just amazing here.
It's definitely an upgrade. You've been involved with Wider for a hot second, haven't you?
Yeah, this would be my second time coming into the station.
Nice. So you were in like our old place last time.
Yeah, that's correct.
So definitely an upgrade, do you think?
Oh, it is so much better here.
Yeah, this
not to say that the last place wasn't good as well. It was still
definitely
amazing.
Not. But this is such an upgrade. Even the podcast recording area that we have like actual couches now. There's a table here. Lighting. We're gonna get video in pretty soon.
Ooh.
Like this is like a full scale production. So definitely an upgrade. So excited to have you on.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So I hear that you're doing a show coming up.
That is correct. I'm going to be performing at Sky High. So I'm so looking forward to that show. It was actually just announced today.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That lineup, I did some looking around and looked up some of the other people that are gonna be on the bill. Man, that's gonna be a really great show. There's a lot of talent
that's gonna be there.
Yeah, could you tell me a bit about the show and kind of how that came about?
So I moved into Sky High actually in August.
So you live at Sky High?
Yes.
Okay.
And since moving in, the person who does most of the work for Sky High, I would say, is Griff Paws, one of the best local musicians that I know around here.
Griff Paws, I knew him when he was still in Nothing New.
Oh yeah,
man, he's killer. He's got some good stuff going on.
He really is. But yeah, ever since I moved in, I just wanted to be involved with Sky High and try and make it as wonderful as possible. And one of the ideas that I brought to Griff was doing a all hip hop rap show. Because I mean, there has been a few shows around Kalamazoo that have been predominantly rap.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's been a house show that's been just rap.
Definitely not. That was something I wanted to talk about too. Because hip hop and rap are really not genres that you see in the house show scene. So I think it's super, super cool that it's a rap hip hop only bill. That's something I haven't seen before. And I know dancing to that in a basement is going to be wonderful.
Oh, it's going to be wild.
Let's see. So you said that you moved into Sky High at the beginning of August.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the house show scene? Were you involved before you moved into this house?
So I was involved a little bit beforehand. How I originally got involved, it's kind of a fun story. So I was just working at Qdoba one day. Shout out Qdoba.
Shout out Qdoba.
And I saw that there was a flyer that was posted for the runoff.
Ooh.
And one of the bands had to get off the bill because they caught COVID.
Okay.
And they, I believe his name is Garrett. Garrett was asking on the Instagram account if any artists or bands wanted to fill the spot. And luckily that was posted 10 minutes before I saw it. And so I just immediately jumped on that.
Nice.
And my first ever show that I went to was my first ever show in Kalamazoo that I performed at as well.
That's crazy. So you never even attended before you performed?
Never.
Oh, what a way to get yourself into the house show scene.
I was so nervous.
So the Runoff is one of my favorite venues. I love the Runoff. Can you tell me a bit about what you think about the Runoff?
So I think the Runoff is honestly probably one of our biggest house venues in Kalamazoo.
Yeah, it's one of the core ones that's stuck through like a few years.
Yeah, no, they've been here for a while, and they definitely bring like the most amount of artists from like across the country.
Definitely.
Like if you're looking to find like an artist or band that's coming in from some other state, like you'll find them at the Runoff.
Yeah, and the Runoff showcases, I'd say if they have a bill of 4, usually 3 are out of state.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Let's see. I'm pulling up their Instagram right now to make sure I can shout them out. I love the Runoff. They do some really cool stuff. I repost their things all the time on my Instagram. Let's see. So the Instagram handle is THERUNOFF_KZ. It's got a black and white profile picture. Hosted by Bronson Arm Noise. Bronson Arm too is a
Incredible.
band. Yeah, incredible. I'm hoping to have them on the show at some point soon also. When was this show that you first performed at?
Ooh, I honestly couldn't tell you the exact date.
Was it like last summer?
It was, I want to say it was somewhere between like 6 to like 8 months ago.
Okay. So since then, have you performed, like tell me your performance kind of routine. Have you performed at a few different places? Do you prefer to perform at like one venue in particular?
So I've been making it a goal of mine to just try and perform at as many house venues around Kalamazoo as I can.
Good goal.
I performed at the Hellhole, the Abyss House, Sky High, the Runoff twice actually.
Nice.
And then I believe the Fun House is the last one that I performed at.
Okay. Where's the Fun House?
I honestly
Is it in Vine?
Yeah, it's in the Vine neighborhood.
Okay, because I haven't been to that one.
I honestly don't know if they're doing shows anymore.
Okay.
So it might have just been a one and done kind of deal.
Ah, that makes sense. Let's see. I'm just looking up their stuff. I can't even find them. That's okay. I'll look it up later. Not important. But yeah, all those other venues are such core venues when it comes to Kalamazoo house show scene. Did you perform in Kalamazoo at all? Or before you came to Kalamazoo, did you perform anywhere else?
So before Kalamazoo, I performed once in, I believe, Adrian, Michigan.
Okay.
I was actually going out there to watch a friend perform, and then last minute I just ended up joining the lineup.
Nice.
So, but other than that, most of my performances have been in Kalamazoo.
Okay.
I've gone back once to my hometown of Grand Rapids to perform at the DAC, I believe it's called.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the DAC. The only one in Grand Rapids I'm familiar with is the Treehouse.
Oh, yes.
I haven't made it up there yet.
I haven't either. I've heard they have a lot of good shows there.
I recently, I think it was Pretoria and Headband Henny were doing a show up there. I was so mad that I couldn't get up there because I knew that was going to be a killer lineup. But it seems like they know what's going on at the Treehouse too.
Oh, for sure. And there's some really excellent venues up there as well, like Skeletones. I believe it's called Free Show Space. I might be butchering that.
Okay.
But, there's a lot of great venues up there, especially for the underground scene. I mean, there's the bigger ones, of course, like Van Andel and 20 Monroe, but for the underground, there's a good amount of venues there too.
Yeah. So tell me about because you're mentioning like these bigger venues in Grand Rapids. So as someone who just has gone to concerts before, I assume you've been to concerts
plenty.
before. Can you tell me a bit of the culture difference between the house show Kalamazoo scene and more like a bigger venue?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'd say the house shows are a lot more personal, and I think honestly the best memories are made at house shows.
Definitely.
I mean, I've been to Lollapalooza, Summer Smash, Breakaway, Common Grounds, so just tons of festivals, and I've had a great time at all of them, but honestly I've made the most memories at house shows.
Yes, I definitely agree with that.
Because like you're literally less than like 20 feet away from every performer.
Yes, and if you want to be front row, you just snake your way up there like nobody cares.
Yeah, no, there's no issue about getting your spot that you want at a house show, and it's just so cool to be able to meet all these local music lovers.
Yes, especially like after they perform and you go up to them after and you're like, you killed it, and they're like, wait, really?
It's just so
the
sweet.
compliments mean so much, like from the smaller bands than like, oh, I guess I'll tweet at Fall Out Boy that that their set was cool, and they're not gonna get, like, I'm not gonna get any of that. There's no personal whatever. But house show is so like, I mean, you could jump on stage if you wanted to.
You really could. I mean, at one of my last shows, I had someone on stage, or my last show at Sky High.
Okay.
I had someone jump on stage and pretend to play air guitar, and someone to play air drums.
Yeah.
And we just rocked out and just had a good time.
Oh, and there's such a difference, because I recently went and I saw Pup.
Okay.
I saw that in Detroit with my sister, and there was like mosh pit and stuff like that, but mosh pits at house shows are so much better.
Oh, they just go crazy.
They go crazy, and everyone's excited to be there, and like they want to be there because they like the music.
Yeah.
They're not there for like the clout, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, like, a lot of people don't even know the bands that are performing half the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, most of the times when I go to shows, I don't really do too much research beforehand. I like to like surprise myself and just like really get that first time listening experience.
Yeah.
And it's just something that like is hard to put to words of like how it feels to just like hear something not only like for the first time, but to hear it live for the first time.
Definitely. There's this band that I saw for the first time, and I've shouted them out on my show before. They're fellow Kinsmen.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, fellow Kinsmen. They're from, I think they're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
And I saw them live at, do I remember what venue it was? No, I don't. That's okay. I'll put it on my Instagram story after this. And I saw them live, and it was I was so impressed with stuff like that. Because even like openers nowadays, when it comes to like bigger bands, you're like, okay, that was okay. But it's not like the same thing of like, I mean, these people live, breathe their band. I assume that's, I mean, I'm not an artist, but you're definitely an artist. You could speak more to that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything I do is like, well, I can't say everything, but I live for music, it feels like being able to perform, put out music, meet new people. It's just what I live for, and the reason I'm in Kalamazoo of all places.
Yeah, definitely. Can you talk a bit about why you like Kalamazoo and why you decided to stick around here?
Honestly, really the only thing that's keeping me around, well, I can't say the only thing, but the main thing that's keeping me around is the music scene. Like, I mean, I could go back to Grand Rapids. I have family and friends up there, but I just don't think there's anything like Kalamazoo's music scene.
I so agree. So I'm originally from the UP.
Oh, okay.
So nothing going on up there. It's a bunch of old people and
A lot of snow, I'd imagine.
ton of snow. Every single year we have to like formally ask the governor to say, hey, did we get enough school days? Because we always have like 20 snow days because it's just impossible to get to school. And they're always like, yeah, that's fine. But it's I mean, it's not a place where things happen. And then I moved down and I go to Western, and I came down here and oh my God, there's so much stuff happening and people just love living life down here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's something I don't think anywhere else really has a scene like this.
Yeah, I have yet to hear of another city that has anything like what Kalamazoo has.
Exactly, because even like places like Ann Arbor or Grand Rapids have like a little bit, but I really think it like originated in the Kalamazoo area and then they moved and brought it with them. Yeah,
no, I completely agree with that. I mean, as I said before, Grand Rapids has like some larger venues, but when it comes to just like house venues, really the only one that I can think of off the top of my head is the Treehouse.
Yeah, me too. And even in a place like Kalamazoo, I think the house show scene really originated from the lack of like small venue spaces around here, because the only small venues we really have around here are like Bell's, and that still like has some decently sized bands that go, and then like Papa Pete's, and that's about it. So besides that, there isn't really anywhere else.
Yeah. Oh, I actually did hear recently that Ruggers Up and Under has started doing live shows.
Ooh, okay, good to know. Let's see.
I believe Dead People Park just performed there for like a Battle of the Bands event.
Oh yeah, it looks like Dead People Park, Lindsey King, and the Missing Generation. That's really, really cool. I didn't know that they started hosting bands type of deal. I also see that Green Door Distilling has some people once in a while now.
Yeah, I heard about that. I think Headband Henny's actually performing out there pretty soon. I'm not sure the exact date, but I believe it's sometime in October.
That is really cool, actually. I actually used to work for Green Door. So that's wonderful that they're kind of tapping into this scene. I'm pulling up their Instagram to see when this show is. Let's see. So I can't find it. This will also go on my Instagram later this week. But I think that's super, super cool that they're that's some more like not even mid-sized venues, but like official venues are popping up for just small bands and stuff. But
yeah,
I mean,
it's very exciting.
Yeah, the house show scene's not going to go away though. That's such an ingrained part of Kalamazoo culture that, I mean, honestly, I prefer going to houses.
Yeah, it's just a lot more personal and it just feels homey. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's a house show, so
yeah. I mean,
you
it's like you just walk up to this random house that you've never been in. You bring a beverage of choice with you. You donate and it's free and you can leave whenever you want and come in whenever you want and go outside and hang out, and it's like you're really just like it's just
really relaxed.
It's so relaxed and it's so not the pressure of like, oh, let's go to Van Andel and let's go get in line and let's buy our tickets and let's get checked at the door. And
I always feel like there's like a lot of stress when it comes to like more mainstream concerts and festivals.
I definitely think so too.
Especially when it comes to like some of these like giants in the industry, like Taylor Swift, for example.
Oh my God, yes.
I cannot imagine trying to get a Taylor Swift concert ticket.
I think I would hate that whole, not even Taylor Swift specific, but like anybody big. Even when I went and saw Fall Out Boy, it was a disaster of a show when I went and saw Fall Out Boy. And I've been listening to Fall Out Boy since I was like 14. So it was like a nostalgia thing I went.
Yeah.
But all the openers went on and then it started raining and then they had to like evacuate the venue and we were all in our cars, and then they said, wait, we're still going on, and then they had to recheck everyone's ticket, and Fall Out Boy started performing before most of the people were in the venue. It was such a disaster.
That sounds like a mess.
But like a house show venue's not going to do that.
Oh yeah, no. The show goes on whether it's rain or snow or anything.
Yeah, and if like if they say hypothetically, okay, you need to leave. Okay, everyone's gone in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's just a number quantity thing of there's not as many people there.
Yeah.
So it's so much, it's just not as high stress at all.
Also just like a great place to like meet some new people. Like I can't tell you how many people I've met just going to house shows and just introducing myself.
Are you talking like the familiar faces that kind of show up all the time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tell me more about that.
So there's a lot of people in this community that go to pretty much every show.
Yes.
Like I'd say at least like 15 to 20 people that like without a doubt you'll see them at every show, like no question asked. It doesn't matter who's performing, where it is, they'll be there.
Yeah.
And honestly, I forget a lot of people's names.
Oh,
but
I'm
like,
so bad with names too.
I recognize them because I see them all the time. Like more so than like some of my friends even. Like they're just people that I know and just love because they share that love for music that I have.
Yeah, and they're down there in that sweaty basement and they're dancing and they're excited, and if they don't know any words, that's fine. They're there for the energy of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think I've ever sung along to any house show music because I don't think I've like memorized any of the songs that I've seen performed yet, but I still have a fantastic time. And honestly, I've had a better time at house shows than I have at like some of like the bigger concerts that I've been to. And man, I've seen some like incredible artists at like these different festivals. Like Tyler the Creator was just
yeah, I bet that would have been great, but it's not the same.
It's just not the same though.
And it's like, you're telling me I have to pay $15 for a beer?
Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's such a community thing. And back to kind of my moshing point that I was touching on earlier. People in house shows know how to mosh.
Oh, they really do. And like it's never like a violent mosh pit.
Yeah,
like,
not ever like the let's tape razor blades to our fists and punch people.
Yeah,
like
no.
none of that. It's you're falling down, you're immediately pulled back up. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yes, let's keep going.
Yeah, everyone there is just super caring. All the bands are just there for the fans and the future fans that may be.
Yeah.
And just everyone's so nice at the shows.
Yes, definitely. Have you seen Saturdays at Your Place perform?
I have not, but I actually used to work with the drummer. Gabe.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So they were kind of my first exposure to house show scenes. Let me pull up their Spotify. So this band is a super local house show band, and they played a lot in Kalamazoo. This would have been like last summer, 2 summers ago. But they recently got signed. And how many monthly listeners do they have now? 113,000 monthly listeners.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And just that's just one example, but the pure talent that's in the Kalamazoo house show scene.
It's unbelievable.
Incredible. So let's talk more about you. I listened to your song Toxic last night. I'm not like the biggest fan of, or not the biggest fan, but like the biggest listener of like rap kind of on my own time. That song kind of went hard. I really liked it. So could you tell me a little bit about that song and then kind of your involvement with Kid Prince?
So that song, I actually basically my part in the song is just the chorus, and then the verse is written and recorded by Kid Price. And I remember the day that we recorded that. I had like no time on my hands. I had to go to work in like 1 hour, but I really wanted to make a song. And so I called up Kid Price. I was like, hey, do you want to make a song? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I didn't tell him that I had to leave in 1 hour, because otherwise
Nice.
It might have just been like, oh, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. But so as I was driving over there, I found the beat that I wanted to use on BeatStars. That's like an app where there's just a bunch of like beats that you can purchase. And I was just listening to the beat in my car and just doing a little bit of freestyling and seeing if I had any lines that like stuck with me. And by the time I got to his house, the entire chorus was done. I just freestyled all of it in my car, and I told my friend Kid Price, I was like, hey, I've got like 45 minutes. I have a chorus that not even written down, but I can just spit it out, and you've got basically 30 minutes after that to record a verse. And we ended up pulling off the song in like 30 minutes.
That's just incredible. And that's just highly recommend listening to this song. This will be like the outro music for this episode. But that's incredible. I do not have that talent in me. I'm in the marching band at Western, so I'm more of a I can read the notes and I can play it. I'm not an improviser. People who can like, they just think about the chorus and da-da-da-da, it's done. I have such a respect for that, because that's so incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, it really just comes down, for me at least, to just like humming out a melody and then just thinking of what words pop in my head.
Nice.
Like there's no other way I can really explain it. It just comes to me, I feel like. Which honestly, like, I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Because it really feels like a blessing. Because I can, most of the time, like, if I was to just like sit down and think like, okay, I want to write a song about love, or I want to write a song about just something else, it's like a lot harder for me to just like sit down and write word after word and try and like tell this like beautiful lyrical story. But like when it comes to just seeing what comes into my head when I hear like a beat and then just like spitting it out or recording it and just seeing where it goes and just keep on doing that over and over again, like making a song just like doesn't end up being too difficult after that.
Nice. So I assume you're You're not a classically trained musician.
So I actually used to be in marching band.
Okay.
So
you have like high school, are you
Yeah.
talking? Okay, so like a high school level of like music stuff, but you're a lot of like self-taught.
Yeah, no, for sure. I used to play tuba in marching band actually.
Nice.
And I did that throughout all of high school, and then I also taught myself a little bit of piano. I played bass guitar in jazz band at my high school as well. And then there's just been countless other instruments that I've just like picked up for short periods of time
Yeah.
along the way. But as of right now, I'm mostly just focused on like recording songs.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Can you tell me a little bit more about like your songwriting process, your because we talked a little bit about how you write lyrics and things along those lines.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit more about like how it goes from nothing to something and being released.
So honestly, like I draw inspiration from a lot of places, whether it be like a lyric in someone else's song or just something that's happened in my life, or sometimes it's just me wanting to create a story or
Nice.
just like let out emotions.
Okay.
So it's really hard to like pinpoint like one place of like where like I get the ideas from. And honestly, like with each song, the way that I write it is usually almost always different from song to song.
Okay.
Like sometimes I'll start off by writing the hook, or start off by writing a verse, or just doing it all at once, just top to bottom.
Nice.
And yeah, I love songwriting. There's nothing else that has been like so therapeutic for me, and just like I'm just able to like escape into my own world, and it's just truly a special feeling.
Yeah, isn't that like the whole point of music, is to just like that escape, that like
It really is.
Let's make this feeling and make it like something out in the open. Like, I mean, what better point is there, you know?
Yeah.
So what kind of got you into making music?
So it's a funny story. So I wasn't really allowed to listen to rap as a kid.
Okay.
My parents were both pretty Christian, so swear words were a big no-no. But someone told me about Eminem.
Okay.
I don't-
Love.
Of all artists, someone told me about Eminem, and I listened to like 2 of his songs, and I was like, whoa, this guy is cool. And I was like 12 or 13 at the time, and like I just listened to Eminem, and that was it for like a little bit, and I was like, wow, it'd be cool to be a rapper.
Nice. That really is like the pipeline, is like Eminem and then
Yeah.
diverge from there.
Yeah, no, so it's really funny to think that like there's not like a big deep story of like why I started doing this. It's like I simply just thought it'd be cool to be able to say like, I make music, I'm a rapper.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's also funny because like I haven't listened to Eminem since then.
Love. Yeah, because you're definitely not like Eminem. I can tell Eminem is not like your main source of inspo when it comes to your music.
No, I'm not like a fast rapper. I mean, I can rap somewhat fast, but it's not like I'm trying to like show off by rapping
Yeah,
fast.
it's not like kamikaze Eminem.
Yeah.
It's
Or rap god.
yeah, literally. So kind of what inspires you to like keep making this music? If that was like your inspo for like starting, like why do you keep going if you don't listen to Eminem anymore?
So honestly, just the amount of like interactions I've had with people online and in person at shows, and like people telling me like how much they've enjoyed hearing my music, or like how they've listened to my music through like hard times. Like
Nice.
it's really inspiring, because it's like I'm able to help people without doing really too much. Like I'm just making songs and performing songs, but it's just truly an incredible feeling. Like I love helping other people and just like giving back to the community, and by like doing performances, it's like that's just the perfect way for me, at least.
Yeah, definitely. So you say that you love the helping people and the kind of inspiring people on how to just start making music. Do you have any advice for people who kind of want to start making music or want to break into the house show scene?
So my biggest piece of advice is like as Nike says, just do it. Like you might have some really crappy first couple songs. I mean, everyone does. My music that's out on Spotify, like my first song on there is from 2020, but I have released 54 songs from 2017 to 2020 that aren't on my Spotify anymore. And like it took me 54 songs to like make one that I really loved, and for that song to like really do well. So like don't expect too much from your first song or your first performance or first anything really. Just keep going at it, and like eventually you'll start making stuff that you really love. And there was this one video, I don't remember who the interview was with. I want to say it was maybe Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
And he was talking about how making music is like water coming out of a faucet. Like when you first turn on like a faucet, especially like in Kalamazoo, the water might be a little yellow at first, might be a little bit dirty, but if you just keep that faucet running, like eventually you're gonna get some clear water, some tasty water that you can enjoy. And the same thing applies to making music. Like when you first turn on that faucet of ideas, your first idea probably won't be your best one. But if you're going to just give up after that first idea, then there's no chance that you're going to ever like be able to like see your best idea come to fruition. So really my best piece of advice to sum it up is just keep going and don't expect too much of yourself.
I'd say, yeah, I very much agree with all that, because I'm an artist of a few different sorts, mainly photographer, outside of all music things. But man, those first probably 10,000 pictures I took were garbage. And it really took like the failure after failure after failure to get to stuff that I actually liked.
Yeah.
So I can super second that thought. Do you have any advice to people who kind of want to get into the Kalamazoo house show scene, either as a performer or as a fan?
So as a fan, I would say just start asking around if like people have ever been to house shows or what venues they know of, or if you go on Instagram and just search up any of the venues that we've mentioned today. Pretty much all of them have their own Instagram account, and just usually the address is not posted for the shows. Usually you have to DM the venue and then they'll send you the address. But even if like you don't have anyone to go with, I highly encourage people to just try at least one house show out. Like especially with October coming up, I've seen like 7 to 10 flyers
there
for
are
October.
so many shows coming up, like Kalamazoo, Southwest Michigan, Grand Rapids.
It's insane.
Incredible.
Like one of the, I believe Sounds of the Zoo is still going on right now, and they're having shows left and right. There's just house venues that have never thrown shows before that are just opening up for the first time. In fact, I was at one called the Dish Pit.
Okay.
I believe a couple days ago.
Nice.
I'm not sure if they have an Instagram quite yet.
Okay.
But it was promoted on the Backrooms_KZ.
I love the back rooms.
Yeah, they definitely know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. Because what are they technically called now?
Club Sandwich.
Yeah, Club Sandwich. Yeah, everything that they've thrown, they really have it down to a T.
They really do. They if you're looking for like a really busy show, not to say it's gonna be like overpacked or anything like that, but like a show with like a good amount of attenders, I'd definitely recommend Club Sandwich. And then also, of course, I would recommend Sky High.
Yeah, I've yet to get to Sky High because Sky High is a fairly new venue.
Yeah.
You guys have only had a handful of shows, right?
Yeah, I believe this is our 4th show.
Yes, I'm really hoping to get to this show so I can, well, first off, see you guys performing, but then see like Sky High in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like an incredible space from like the videos that I've seen and stuff.
It's beautiful. There's a bunch of t-shirts that are hung up on the walls from like different local bands that have come and performed at Sky High, and then also just t-shirts from just bands that are local to Kalamazoo, and some that have like come from other states and given us shirts. And
nice.
So it's really cool to just even like be downstairs and like in the venue, I would say, I guess, because it's just a really cool place.
Yeah, it seems like a not like a museum, but like there's a lot of like historical memorabilia.
Oh yeah, and even just like throughout the house, like there's honestly the house is kind of like an art museum in my opinion. Like there's just posters and tapestries everywhere. You go downstairs and you'll see like 50 different t-shirts, and like it's cool to just like look around at some of the stuff. Like sometimes when I'm just downstairs doing my laundry, I'll just be looking at t-shirts and still see ones that I'm like, oh, I actually just saw that band the other day. And it's like, it's crazy to think that their merch is just sitting in my basement.
Yeah, that's some of the coolest stuff. Or even like having merch from like bands that don't exist anymore.
Oh yeah.
I'm currently wearing a Sea Home sweatshirt that I got the last time I saw them with my sister. I saw them with Saturdays at Your Place performing, and then Lee Cleveland and the Left Hand Band.
Oh, okay.
And I bought this sweatshirt, and now they're not a band anymore. So it's even like I have this relic, and nothing's gonna ever be produced
ancient
ever
artifact.
again. Yeah, truly ancient artifact at this point. But even those, I have a bunch of shirts that I'm like, oh, this band doesn't exist anymore, but this piece of merch is really, really cool.
But the memory will last forever.
The memory will so last forever, and I'll keep talking about the band even though the band isn't a thing anymore. And the videos and the experience and the mosh pit and just like having a good time, like, oh yeah, you really can't get those memories back. And I definitely have the best memories in a house show scene.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, some of my best memories from living in Kalamazoo have been the house shows, honestly.
Do you have like could you tell me a little bit, like a story of like your favorite house show that you've gone to?
Man, it's hard to pick just one because...
Well, then tell me a few.
So, some of my favorite shows were at this venue called the Hellhole. Unfortunately, the Hellhole is no longer throwing, at least to my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think they're throwing anymore.
But there's been some really good bands that have come through there. Monsoon was an incredible two-piece band. Love them. Final Boss Fight is incredible. They are something else. But Yeti is another favorite that I've seen at Hellhole.
Were you at the show where the Frogs and Toads performed?
I don't think I was.
Okay, because that's the only one that I've been to at Hellhole.
Oh, I gotcha.
And that one was incredible. And the way that they had the basement set up worked so well, and they had that little like bar area, and it just like it worked for like what they needed.
Oh, and just the fact that they had like all red lighting down there just like made it perfect.
The branding was on point with that venue.
It really was. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that place.
Yeah.
There were some good memories there. But another one of my favorites would have to be Punk Hazard.
Punk Hazard's really good.
They've had some really good shows. They have some like really cool lighting down there in their basement, and just a cool house in general, and great people.
Oh, wonderful. So before we started the podcast, we started talking a bit about Hellhole, and we said, oh wait, we have to save this for the podcast. So you said you knew John?
Yes.
I knew John from marching band. He was in marching band with me for, I think he was either a year or two. But yeah, so I know John. I also know Cesar. I met Cesar my first year I was at Western.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, no, I'm great friends with both of them. Haven't seen them in a while, but yeah, John was with me for my first wider appearance.
Nice.
And yeah, both of them are just incredible guys.
Yeah, really, really chill dudes. So do you have any The floor is yours now. What I'm going to do is the last thing I'm going to do is give a song shout out, and then I'm going to do my bit of an outro.
Okay.
But if you have something that you want to say, like, the floor is yours.
Honestly, like the one thing that I just want to get across is really give the music scene a chance in Kalamazoo. Like, if you've never been to a show, or you've been to one or two and maybe it hasn't been the best, like, there's so many opportunities coming up, and it's really just, there's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it.
If you've been to a concert before but never been to a house show, like, it's
they're
not
very
like,
different. They're not even
different.
like the same, like, besides the music. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only similarity, honestly.
Yeah, and I honestly would pick going to a house show over any just like regular party in Kalamazoo.
Me too.
Like, I've been to a few parties here and there in Kalamazoo, but none of them have compared to like some of the like the best shows that I've been to. Mm-hmm. So really, all I can say is just give them a shot. Everyone there is super nice. You don't have to worry about if you end up going alone. Like, you're gonna meet people there. You don't have to worry about like, oh, I don't know anybody. Like, people will just come up to you and just start talking to you. And
Very true.
I've never really seen that too much at like parties, unless it's like people flirting.
Yeah.
Which that's not really the case at house shows most of the time. Like, if someone comes up to you, it's like they're trying to make you feel welcome. And
Yeah, like, hey, you're part of this community now. Let's bring you into the community instead of
Exactly.
Yeah, and I haven't really experienced ill intent at house shows in that regard.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, they're a very safe place, and everyone there is just looking out for each other. So
Definitely. So can you tell me a little bit about this show that's coming up?
So this show will be on October 28th. Doors are at 7. Music will be starting probably around 8. Just kind of depends on when people start showing up.
8-ish.
Yeah. But it'll be our first, well, actually, I don't think it's our first all hip-hop show, because the first show actually at Sky High was a hip-hop show.
Gotcha.
But so it'll technically be our second hip-hop show at Sky High. And we have 6 main artists and then some guest artists that will be just appearing for certain songs throughout the night. And then thinking about doing a costume competition, possibly. Still trying to figure out how to work that out. But it is a costumes themed show, so if you do plan on coming to it, just make sure you're in a costume.
Love.
And yeah, it's gonna be a fantastic time.
Yeah,
Like,
it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really gonna try to get to this one. What are you dressing up for for Halloween?
So I'm gonna actually keep that a secret, because
Good idea.
For my costume, I'm actually gonna be making the costume.
Gotcha.
And then kind of involving merchandise with that, so that way
Ooh.
like people can like technically buy my costume.
I love that.
So
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting some t-shirts printed soon for
Yay.
some merch and for the costume. So
Nice.
you'll just have to come and see at the show.
Yeah, go and see. For all the listeners, I'm gonna be dressing up as Roderick for Halloween
I
from
love
Diary
that.
of a Wimpy Kid. And then my sister's gonna be Greg.
Nice.
So that'll be so if you see Roderick around, that's me. So the song shout out I want to give today is Faded Wings and Kid Price's song Toxic. This song will be playing once I do the rest of my outro. Yeah, so to reiterate this episode, Sky High is having a show on October 28th. Doors are at 7, and Faded Winds, Bo Diz, Kid Price, Vinny and St. Boyd, and Cole Story will all be performing. You can find Sky High on Instagram at sky_high_KZOO, and Faded Winds at FADED.WINDS. In podcast news, this show now has an Instagram. You can find me and this show at Live Loud and Local. I'll always be reposting venue posters, my favorite artists, and giving updates about the show. The best way to get on this show is by Instagram DM. Until next time, Kalamazoo, remember to bring your earplugs, and as always, tip the touring band.